Measuring power factor and utility penalties. Good morning, everyone. This presentation will cover the technical metrics involved, the substantial financial impacts of a poor power factor, and the essential strategies for correction, ensuring maximum industrial efficiency and minimal utility costs. The core concepts. To understand the penalties, we must first establish the core concepts that define power quality. Understanding power factor, PF. At its simplest, power factor, or PF, is a measure of electrical system efficiency. Technically, it is the ratio of real power, the power that actually performs work, measured in kilowatts, kW, to the total apparent power drawn from the utility, measured in kilovolt-amperes, kVA. The closer this ratio is to 1.0, the more efficient your system is. The classic way to visualize this is with the beer analogy. Real power, kW, is the liquid beer you actually want and use. Reactive power, kVAR, is the foam. It takes up space in the glass, but does no useful work. And apparent power, kVA, is the total volume of the glass. The utility charges you for the total glass volume, kVA, but only the kW performs your industrial function. Low power factor means more foam and higher costs. The power triangle. This concept is summarized by the power triangle, which shows the geometric relationship between these three components. Real power, kW, and reactive power, kVAR, form the legs of a right triangle, and apparent power, kVA, is the hypotenuse. Reactive power, typically caused by inductive loads like motors and transformers, creates a phase shift, which is represented by the angle theta, $theta. As kVAR increases, the angle $theta gets larger, and the cosine of that angle, which is the power factor, gets lower. Our goal is to minimize that angle. Why utilities care? Power factor is not just an internal efficiency problem, it is a major headache for utility companies, which is why they impose penalties. First, low PF causes capacity strain. The reactive current essentially clogs their transmission lines and transformers with non-working power, limiting the total capacity they can deliver. Second, this high current leads to system losses through increased heat losses across their entire grid. Finally, excessive reactive power draw can cause significant voltage drops across the network, degrading the quality and stability of power for all customers. Section title: The Financial Impact. Because of these issues, utilities implement sophisticated rate structures to penalize customers with poor power factor. This is where the financial impact hits. Penalty structures. There are two primary ways utilities apply penalties. The simplest is kVA billing, common in large industrial plants. Here, the utility simply bills you based on your peak kVA demand, rather than the useful kW demand. Since kVA is always equal to or greater than kW, you immediately pay more for the inefficiency. The second, and more common method, is the adjusted demand surcharge. The utility bills on kW, but if your power factor drops below a predefined threshold, your billed kW is artificially inflated using a multiplier. This multiplier is calculated by taking the target PF divided by your actual PF. As your power factor drops, this multiplier increases your billed demand, forcing you to pay a surcharge. Cost impact example. Let's look at a concrete example using the adjusted demand surcharge. If we take a 1000 kilowatts load with a demand rate of $15 per kW, and a utility target of 0.95 pf, at the target of 0.95 pf, the bill is $15,000. If the power factor drops to 0.85, the demand is inflated, and the bill rises to nearly $16,800. Critically, if the PF drops to 0.70, the utility bill demand jumps, and the total cost exceeds $20,300. This low efficiency results in a penalty surcharge of over $5,000 per month, pure wasted money. Critical thresholds. To avoid these escalating costs, you must monitor three critical numbers. 0.95 is the standard industry target and usually the point at which penalties cease. 0.90 is a very common minimum threshold. Dropping below this often triggers the surcharge. 1.0, or unity, represents perfect efficiency, though it is difficult to achieve in practice. Most importantly, maintain an average monthly PF above your utility's trigger point, typically 0.90 or 0.95, to protect your bottom line. Section title: Correction Strategies. So, how do we fix this? The answer lies in power factor correction. Capacitor banks. The primary and most effective solution is the installation of capacitor banks. Inductive equipment creates lagging reactive power, kVAR. Capacitors create leading reactive power, which effectively cancels out the inductive lag. By installing these banks locally on your site, you supply the necessary magnetizing current yourself. This prevents you from pulling that reactive power from the utility, eliminating the need for their excess kVA transmission and, critically, eliminating the surcharge penalty. Correction equipment. Modern correction systems are highly sophisticated. APF panels, or automatic power factor correction panels, use controllers to continuously monitor the PF and automatically switch capacitor steps in and out of the circuit in real time to maintain the target PF. Comprehensive monitoring through Advanced Metering Infrastructure, or AMI, is also essential to track QA and PF averages and ensure compliance. Ultimately, this correction reduces internal system losses and minimizes the negative grid impact caused by your facility. ROI of correction. The return on investment for power factor correction is generally excellent and very fast. Because the monthly penalties can be so high, the cost of installing an APF system is typically recouped entirely within 6 to 18 months through eliminated utility surcharges. After that break-even point, all those penalty savings become direct profit. Q&A. Thank you. This concludes our overview of power factor measurement and penalty mitigation. I welcome any questions you may have, particularly regarding how to apply these concepts to your specific utility rate structures and current demand profiles.